Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Up to the Real. I am Julian.
And I am James. You almost said you
You
were
almost said
James.
James. I
It's
almost
not. It's
said
not who you
James.
are.
Woo! It's that kind of morning. All right. Well, guys, we got a couple of news stories we're going to talk about. We all got to start with the saddest one, and then we'll work our way to. Nah, I wouldn't say sad, but annoying.
We'll get
get
to
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
So, the saddest news of this week: Stan Lee, the Marvel comic book icon, has passed away at the age of 95 this past Monday. Starting in 1939 with his comics, then did what we know all in love in Marvel Comics in the 60s with basically the first Family Fantastic Four. Since then, we've had so many adaptations, so many graphic novels, so many movies, and to date, we have about 59 movies that are in development or been in production and have been finished. There's 59 films that have been through Marvel, and that's almost we didn't do the numbers, but it's over billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's such a legacy to live with.
And it's one of the crazy things where I thought about, and I'm like, oh, I've seen almost all those movies.
That's the scary part about that. I've seen every single one of them, and like we're not gonna try to harp on it too much, but like my first jump into comics in general was Spider Man, the '90s Spider Man animated series show. Then I got interested in comics. Then that's when I learned about Batman the animated series. That's when I just like that show in particular skyrocketed my curiosity and so many movie experiences and so many moments in my film like my film era and like what I love about film comes from Marvel.
It's funny because I was thinking about like all of his cameos that we all know from the Marvel movies. I was like, damn, even he was even in the Spider-Man game that just came out.
Yes,
Like,
he was cameoed in that, telling like Mary Jane that everything's gonna be all right, and he says something almost along the lines like Excelsior, but he didn't. But like,
yeah.
it was like wow, and we know that he's in Avengers 4, most likely in Captain Marvel,
I'd have to assume so. Yeah.
and then I believe they also finished Spider-Man Far From Home.
Wouldn't surprise me, yeah, because I know they said they shot a couple of his scenes a little bit early, just to be safe. Which it sucks that was the smart precaution, because obviously what happened. It's one of those things where I always liked DC Comics coming up more, but it's hard to argue the impact that
Marvel has made.
Yeah, Marvel had, especially with Stan Lee. So, yeah, I mean it sucks. Obviously, it was gonna happen sometime in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird seeing a post Stan Lee Marvel movie.
It's gonna be weird. It's
Yeah.
gonna be really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I weirdly don't have too much to say about it because it's one of the things I've kind of been bracing for a while. But
See, and that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I found out 2 years ago when I was in LA that he had his heart surgery. Or he was having complications with his heart, and he basically Marvel or Disney per se was like, all right, we're preparing for this. And so ever since then, I've been like, I know it's coming. I just don't know when.
yeah,
And so it's like I've been prepared for it, but it still shocks me just a little bit.
well, if you want some more kind of sad news, we've been seeing some new trailers for Toy Story 4, which
Yeah.
sounds like it's good news, but this movie apparently is going to try to make everyone cry.
Yeah.
So what we know about the movie so far is it's kind of Woody going on the hunt for his love, Bo Peep,
Yep.
who gets sold at a garage sale pretty much. They've had some pretty fun intros come out. They have like the one with them holding the
Holding
hand.
hands and running around and stuff. And then Ducky and Bunny, who are now one of the best comic duos from Comedy Central, Key and Peele, who basically like is excited about the movie as well. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay.
It's so the movie comes out June 21st. Yes.
Yes.
Of next year. June, July. June. Yes. That said, it's one of those things where these are the type of movies where I like to not watch any of the trailers for.
No.
So I'm probably gonna be coming like the closest movie comes out when we're recording these. I'm gonna be like, nope, I don't know anything because I want to go in this movie as blind as I can, so that way I can cry as many tears as I can.
So I was just gonna say that the first 2 teaser trailers. That's it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not watching.
It's like get me hype and then I'm done. I don't want to see any actual footage.
Anything else because I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna show me too much, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my childhood. This is one of those movies like I want to go in blind and watch everything by myself. So I'm literally, you and I are taking a vow. We're not gonna watch any trailers. So letting you guys know from today till June 21st of next year, if you see any trailers that comes out, we will not be discussing Toy Story 4 at all.
Hope not.
No,
we might discuss like if a new voice actor gets added on. Like, oh, they just signed this guy. But I'm not watching any footage.
No, we're not watching any footage, just so you know. So let that be known.
Great reviewers, right? No, that movie's gonna be fantastic. I mean, at least I feel safe calling that bet.
No, I'm safe about it too. If Tom Hanks and Tim Allen both came out and said that they almost got emotional and cried at the end, it's a safe bet that this movie is gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
So that's just it. Speaking of also news and toys, I guess. Child's Play gave us a new poster. It's a box with just good guy dolls in it, and basically says Child's Play with the release date sometime in June of next year as well. And we also got a synopsis, which
yeah, you told me about it, and you saw my reaction earlier.
Chucky is an AI doll that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And an AI doll gone wrong. Are we Small Soldiers again? Is this Small Soldiers?
No, because Small Soldiers was actually kind of an okay movie. This new Chucky movie. So I already don't like Chucky much because he's kind of creepy, and it's like I don't enjoy like just a weird doll. It gets. Cause I'm like, how is he overpowering people? And there's a lot of
things that you're just like how?
Even outside of a living doll, I'm already like whatever. But like at least living doll, you can say, oh, it's supernatural, so that's why it's super strong. It's just a little toy robot. Like I don't know. I said, but we'll all be destroyed by robots within a decade. I don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna be at least 40 when this happens, right? That's not ballpark it. But I was gonna say. That's what made, for me, like I said, Chucky was one of those, hey, this is a satire of slasher movies, right?
Yeah.
And, like, seeing him using voodoo to translate his body into a doll, I mean, that's still a good premise, at least.
Yeah.
At least trying to find a reason to be back a human again, right?
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to do with an AI doll?
The computer. Terminator. It's gonna be a Terminator prequel. Calling my shots now, just like Toy Story. I feel safe calling this bet. Chucky, Child's Play, Terminator prequel. You heard it here first.
That is gonna be a spoiler. I promise you, if that's a spoiler,
I'm calling it. I called it. Hire me, Hollywood. Money, please. Yeah. Okay. So.
Worse news.
I see. Here's the thing. We're gonna get into this real quick. So. If you checked out Speedrun earlier this week, you know that we talked about the new trailer for Detective Pikachu, starring Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith. Okay, so here's the thing with this movie. I have a weird feeling it's gonna be fantastic.
It is. I think it's gonna be it's not gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be very cute. It's gonna be a very good, cute, kind-hearted movie.
I think it's gonna be funny.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be funny, but it's going to be like, not Toy Story 3 per se, but it's going to be like Toy Story and how they mix funny with some serious tones, right? Yeah. And I think it's going to do really good. And it scares me to say that this video game movie is going to do good.
And it's funny because I've watched this trailer multiple times. The first time I watched it, I was like, this looks horrible. Then I watched it again, I was like, okay. Then I watched it more, and I was like, I think I'm really going to enjoy this movie.
The scary thing is, and this is what I was going to say, from the trailer outside looking in right now, the details in certain Pokemon were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Charizard looks amazing. Mm-hmm. The fur on Pikachu looks amazing. And
I think
Bulbasaur
looks really good. I think outside of his face, Mr. Mime looks cool.
Oh,
his face
Mr.
is really
Mime,
creepy. But here's the thing, though. Mr. Mime is creepy, though.
He is creepy, but that creepy, though, the CGI just made him look... Ooh,
so I can't remember. There's a popular internet artist who they actually brought in who does realistic drawings of Pokemon, and they brought them in to actually kind of give their taste and everything, and it definitely shows. Like, people were weirded out by Jigglypuff having hair, and I'm like, well, it has a swoop.
It's swoop.
So
yeah. I was like, you can't get mad about that.
I don't know. There's some really cool things. So it's the person who wrote the script for this is the same person who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
So I think that's already like, oh, okay, yeah, you get funny.
My problem is, and I guess I'm going to do this on camera. I want to fact check myself. I want to see who's directing this movie because
it's the guy who did Shark Tale and Monsters vs. Aliens.
I remember. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, so Shark Tale's kind of
no. Shark Tale was
But here's the thing: Monsters vs. Aliens. It one thing it did really well is it treated because they're supposed to be like the bee monsters, like
right.
Black Lagoon and stuff like that, and like it treated its like kind of source material well.
It did.
So I don't know.
An okay movie, borderline bad movie.
Yeah.
And an okay DreamWorks film.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I hope you can do well. My biggest gripes between the Detective Pikachu, that's why I was like, worst news is because it's like I'm kind of indifferent on it, is Justice Smith, and I want to know if you only gave me the good CGI off the movie and then
it's one of those things where I'm like a little worried because it could be just a lot of trailer magic. Someone might cut a really good trailer together. I don't know. There's a lot of cool. Like, one of the coolest things to me is this is the first time in like a Pokemon related like movie or show or something where we're seeing a character who isn't, I just want to be a Pokemon master, I want to be a Pokemon trainer. It's like, oh, I'm just kind of a dude in the Pokemon world.
Right, and my only thing is this. Justice Smith is not a bad actor. What I mean by that is, like, I feel like this movie is going to take it away that he's not going to look good, per se, because in the trailer, in my opinion, it seemed like he was like what he was in Fallen Kingdom, just along for the ride.
Yeah, following Ryan Reynolds' character.
Right, and it's just like, I understand that it's a Detective Pikachu movie, but what made the game really good was all the side characters that helped him around with it. And it's just like, don't make him a tool.
Yeah, I'm weirdly interested to see where this goes because I think it has a lot of potential. When I first saw it, it looked like one of those crappy things where someone makes like a college kid makes like a dark gritty reboot of something, and like you're like, oh, that looks cool, and you're like, yeah, but that would never be a movie because Nintendo wouldn't allow it. I don't know how Nintendo okayed this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Nintendo is not a company who's like, yeah, go do whatever with our IP. Yeah, this is. I'm weirdly very excited to see Detective Pikachu.
And that's why I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of like, this is going to be a very cute movie.
Ooh.
Andy, what's wrong?
Doesn't agree with you.
It could go really well or it could go very wrong. And I'm on it. I don't know which one I'm falling on, but I'm just waiting to see it next year. I'm willing to see it. And finally, the movies that will be released this week are going to be Green Book, which is a movie with Mahershala Ali. Basically, a guy is shuffling him around the South, and because he's a pianist and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Widows, which looks amazing with Viola Davis and them robbing a bank. Everybody's been saying it's the movie that Ocean's 8 wanted to be.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I might have to watch that. All right. And the biggest movie that's coming out this week, Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald.
Which hasn't been getting the greatest reviews so far.
As of now, as of this recording, it's at 56% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's the lowest any Harry Potter or Wizarding World movie has made. And that's even saying from the fifth one that I despise so much. So
yeah, I still should probably see a lot of those movies.
Which is why we couldn't do a preview. I was going to do a preview of Crimes of Grindelwald, but he hasn't watched them.
See what it was? I knew the movie was going to be bad. So I saved you guys from any hype for that movie. Again, I'm shooting my shots. I'm 100% accuracy. Boom, boom. Yeah, I don't know. Green Book looked pretty cool, though. We got Viggo in it, Viggo Mortensen.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks really well. And in the trailer, it was so heartfelt. Like, it makes me look like, you know what? I made a heartfelt movie this year. Yeah. Like, maybe both of them are going to be nominated for something. Let's hope so.
But yeah, I think that's all the movie news this week.
Yeah, that's everything from this week.
What we got.
If y'all have any other new movie news, comment, let us know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't. Um, Also, there might be something coming out there later this week or next week before Thanksgiving. We might do a series on Christmas movies. We'll see. We'll let you know about that.
Holidays are hard to record around. So
Yes.
we're going to try to get something out.
But from all of us here at Stage 3, thanks for joining us and stay tuned.